Morning, guys. I'm your boss, John Lawrence Florido. Uh, Please turn on your camera so that we can communicate to each other. So, in the past few weeks, I give you tasks or works to present me. So this is the day that you will present that work to me today, and wish you good luck and uh, have a nice report. So the first gonna report and show me your report now.
Phanerozoic Eon. The Phanerozoic Eon is the interval of geologic time spanning from the appearance of abundant macroscopic hard-shelled fossils roughly 542 million years ago to the present time. Phanerozoic Eon consists of three eras: Paleozoic, Mesozoic, and Cenozoic era. Our report is about Paleozoic era.
Paleozoic era. During the Paleozoic era, which lasted 289 million years, plants and reptiles began moving from the sea to the land. The era began with the breakup of one supercontinent and the formation of another. Plants became widespread, and the first vertebrate animals colonized land. Several times during the era, seas appeared and disappeared in Kansas. Rocks from the last two periods in the era, the Carboniferous and the Permian, can be found at the surface in parts of central and eastern Kansas. Paleozoic life. The story of the earliest Paleozoic animals is one of in the sea. Presumably, simple fungi and related forms existed in the freshwater environments, but the fossil records provide no evidence of these modern modes of life. The terrestrial environment of the early Paleozoic was barren of the simplest of life forms. Paleozoic geography. On a global scale, the Paleozoic was a time of a continental assembly. The majority of Cambrian land masses were gathered together to form Gondwana, a supercontinent made up of present-day continents of Africa, South America, Australia, and Antarctica, and the Indian subcontinent. It extended from the northern tropics to the southern polar regions, with the exception of three major cratons, land masses forming the stable interiors of continents. Not part of the initial configuration of Gondwana, the remainder of Earth was covered by the global Pathalassic Ocean. Paleozoic era. Paleozoic era, also spelled Paleozoic, major interval of geologic time that began 541 million years ago with the Cambrian explosion, an extraordinary diversification of marine animals, and ended about 252 million years ago with the end of Permian extinction, the greatest extinction event in Earth history. The Paleozoic takes its name from the Greek word for ancient life. The major divisions of the Paleozoic era from oldest to youngest are periods of Paleozoic era. Cambrian period 541 million years ago to 485 million years ago. Ordovician period 485 million years ago to 443 million years ago. Silurian period 443 million years ago to 419 million years ago. Devonian period 419 million years ago to 359 million years ago. Carboniferous period 359 million years ago to 299 million years ago. Permian period 299 million years ago to 252 million years ago. Periods of Paleozoic era.
Cambrian period. Cambrian period, earliest time division of Paleozoic era extending from 541 million to 485.4 million years ago. The Cambrian period is divided into four stratigraphic series. the Terranubian series, series 2, 3, and 4. Cambrian period. One of the key events of the Cambrian was the Cambrian explosion. The Cambrian explosion was an event where the biodiversity of Earth massively increased. Many new species emerged, including the first appearance of animals with mineralized skeletons. Most flora and fauna at this time was aquatic. The most dom- the most dominant creatures were arthropods. Cambrian explosion. The Cambrian explosion was happened more than 500 million years ago. It was when most of the major animals groupings started to appear in the fossil record, a time of rapid expansion of different forms of life on Earth.
Epochs of the Cambrian period. Terranubian epoch. Terranubian is the lowermost and oldest series of the Cambrian geological system. Its base is defined by the first appearance datum of the trace fossil Treptichnus pedum around 541 million years ago. Its top is defined as the first appearance of trilobites in the stratigraphic record around 521 million years ago. There, the picture is the fossil of a trilobite.
Ages of the Terranubian epoch. Fortunian, also known as the Manicahan or Manikahan. The Fortunian is the earliest of the 5 Serbian early Cambrian ages and also the most recently recognized. The stage and its equivalents were only added to the Cambrian in 1992. It is characterized by the first appearance of small shelly faunas, or the SSFs. The SSFs appear sequentially and diversify slowly, but it is not until the following Tomosan stage that they really take off. They are the earliest well-known complex three-dimensional trace fossils. Mostly small, chitinous, calcareous, and phosphatic elements of problematic affinity. Some of them at least form part of the armor of larger invertebrate animals, the so-called coat of mail creatures like Halteria.
Cambrian Stage 2. Cambrian Series 2 is the second series of the Cambrian. It lies above the Terranubian series and below the Cambrian Series 3. Series 2 has not been formally defined by the International Commission on Stratigraphy, lacking a precise lower and upper boundary and subdivision into stages. The proposed lower boundary is the around negative 521 million years ago. The upper boundary is proposed as the first appearance of either the trilobite species Oritocephalus ithacus or Ophatorhynchocara granulata, currently estimated to be around negative 509 billion years ago.
Cambrian Series 2. Cambrian Series 2 of the Cambrian is the unnamed upper stage of the Terranubian series. It lies atop the Fortunian and below stage 3 of the Cambrian. It is commonly referred to as the Tomosan after the Cambrian stratigraphy of Siberia. Neither the upper nor lower boundary has yet been defined by the International Commission on Stratigraphy. The preferred definition for the lower boundary are the first appearance of the mollusk Watsonella crossby or Aldanella atelberonsis around 529 million years ago. The proposed upper boundary might be the first appearance of trilobites around 521 million years ago. Possible candidates for a GSSP include the first appearance of Watsonella crossby in the Zhujiaqing Formation in Yunnan, China, or the Pestrovet Formation near the Aldan River on the Siberian platform.
Ages of the Cambrian Series 2 epoch, Cambrian Stage 3 and 4.
Meolingian or Series 3 epoch. The Meolingian is the third series of the Cambrian period and was formally named in 2018. It lasted from about 509 to 497 million years ago and is divided in ascending order into three stages: the Wulian, Drumian, and Gzangian. The Miaolingian is preceded by the unnamed Cambrian, Series 2, and succeeded by the Forongian series.
Ages of the Miaolingian or Series 3 epoch. Wulian or Stage 5. The Wulian stage is the fifth stage of the Cambrian and the first stage of the Miaolingian series of the Cambrian. It was formally defined by the ICS in 2018. Its base is defined by the first appearance of the trilobite species, Ornithocephalus indicus. It ends with the beginning of the Drumian stage.
Drumian Stage second of 3 internationally defined stage of the Series 3 epoch of the Cambrian period, encompassing all rock deposits during the Drumian age. Approximately 504.5 million to 500.5 million years ago. The name of this interval is derived from the Drum Mountain of western Utah, United States. Kuchangian stage, last of three internationally defined stages of the Series 3 epoch of the Cambrian period, encompassing all rock deposits during the Kuchangian age, approximately 500.5 million to 497 million years ago.
The Forongian is the fourth and final series of the Cambrian. It lasted from 497 to 485 million years ago. It succeeds the still unnamed third series of the Cambrian and precedes the lower Ordovician Tremodosian stage. It is subdivided into three stages: the Paebian, Jiangshanian, and the unnamed 10th stage of the Cambrian.
Ages of the Forongian epoch. Paebian stage. The Paebian stage, first of three internationally defined stages of the Forongian series, and encompassing all rocks deposited during the Paebian age, approximately 497 to 494 million years ago of the Cambrian period. The name of this interval is derived from the village of Paebi, Huaiyan County, Hunan, China.
Jiangshanian Capriati then is a division of geological time within the Cambrian period. It is the last of the three ages within the Forong, Forong, Forongian epoch. It is preceded by the Jiangxianin age and success by the Trematosian age or Ordovician period. EGS geological time chart, Grasstein and Oak 2012 featured 2.1.
Cambrian Stage 10. Stage 10 of the Cambrian period is the unnamed third and final stage of the Puronian epoch. It follows the Junction age and precedes the Ordovician period, Tremadocian age.
Ordovician period. Ordovician period, in geological time, the second period of the Paleozoic era. It began 485.4 million years ago, following the Cambrian period, and ended in 443.8 million years ago, when the Silurian period began. Ordovician rocks have the distinction of occurring at the highest elevation on Earth, the top of the Mount Everest. Epochs of the Ordovician period. Early Ordovician epoch. The Ordovician period is ushered in a significant changes in plate tectonics, climate, and biological system. Rapid seafloor spreading of the oceanic ridges fostered some of the highest global sea levels in the Phanerozoic eon. It began 485.4 million years ago.
Ages of the early Ordovician epoch. Trematocian stage lower most of the standard worldwide division of the lower Ordovician series and lowest of the seventh stage within the Ordovician system. It encompass all rock formed during the Trematocian age, which span the interval between 485.4 million and 477.7 billion years ago.
Ploian stage. Last of two internationally defined stages of the lower Ordovician series, encompassing all rocks deposited during the Ploian age 477.7 million to 470 million years ago of the Ordovician period.
Middle Ordovician epoch. The Middle Ordovician epoch of the Ordovician period 472 million to 461 million years ago, Paleozoic era.
Ages of the Middle Ordovician epoch.
The Pinian stage, first of two internationally defined stage of the Middle Ordovician series, encompassing on rock deposit during the Pinian age 470 million to 467.3 million years ago of the Ordovician period.
The Revelian stage. Second of two main divisions in the Middle Ordovician series, representing rocks deposited worldwide during the Revelian age, which occurred between 467.3 million and 458.4 million years ago during the Ordovician period.
Upper Ordovician epoch. The Upper Ordovician epoch of the Ordovician period lasted about 460.9 to 443.7 million years ago.
Ages of the Upper Ordovician epoch. Sanbian. First of three internationally defined stages of the Upper Ordovician series, encompassing all rocks deposited during the Sanbian age, over 458.4 million to 453 million years ago of the Ordovician period.
Katian. Katian stage, second of three internationally defined stage of the Upper Ordovician series, encompassing on rock deposit during the Katian age 453 million to 445.2 million years ago of the Ordovician period. Here not Tian. Hernandian stage, last of three internationally defined stages of the Upper Ordovician series encompassing all rock deposits during the Hernan- Hernandian age 445.2 million to 443.4 million years ago of the Ordovician period. The name of this interval is derived from the Hernan bed in Wales, which served as the site marking the Hernandian subdivision of Britain as still regional states.
Hello everyone, we have Silurian period which is Silurian period in geologic time, the third period of the Paleozoic era. It began 443.8 billion years ago and ended up 419.2 million years ago, extending from the close of the Ordovician period to the beginning of the Devonian period. And under Silurian period, we have epoch of the Silurian period, which is the pre-Diluvian epoch. The pre-Diluvian series promotes a four-main division of the Silurian system, representing those rocks deposited worldwide during the pre-Diluvian epoch, 423 million to 419.2 million years ago. The series name is derived from the pre-Diluvian area of the Delaware Valley on the outskirts of Prague in the Czech Republic, where about 20 to 50 meters, about 65 to 165 feet, of flated limestone, strata rich in cephalopods and bivalves are well developed. And under that, we also have Wenlock epoch. Wenlock series is a second of four main division in ascending order of the Silurian system, representing those rocks deposited worldwide during the Wenlock epoch, 433.4 million to 427.4 million years ago. Its name is derived from the type of district at Wenlock Edge. The prominent escarpment stretches for about 29 kilometers, 18 miles southwest from the town of Mount Wenlock in Shropshire, England.
Ages of the Wenlock epoch.
Shane Woodjan stage, first of two stages of the Wenlock series, encompass all rocks deposited during the Shane age, over 433.4 million to 430.5 million years ago of the Silurian period.
Umbrian stage, second of two stages of the Wenlock series encompassing on rock deposit during the Umbrian age, 430.5 million to 427.4 million years ago of the Silurian period. The name of the interval is derived from the town of Homer, Shropshire, England.
Ludlow epoch. The Ludlow series, the third of four main divisions in ascending order, making up the Silurian system that represent all those rocks on a global basis. Deposited during the Ludlow epoch, 427.4 million to 423 million years ago. The name is derived from the type district located immediately west of the town of Ludlow in Shropshire, England, where about 350 meters, 1,100 feet of siltstone and limestone strata occur. Ages of the Ludlow epoch.
Gorstan stage, first of two stages of the Ludlow series, made up of all rocks deposited during the Gorstan age, over 427.4 million to 425.6 million years ago of the Silurian period.
Lutfortian Ludfortian stage of second of two stage of the Ludlow series made up of all rocks deposited during the Ludfortian age 420 425.6 million to 423 million years ago of the Silurian period.
The Andalver series lower most of forming division in the Silurian system, representing those rocks deposited worldwide during the Landa period. 443.4 million to 433.4 million years ago. The name of the series is derived from the Tyke district around the town of Llandovery in the southern Wales, where about 1,200 meters, about 4,000 feet of fossiliferous shells, sandstones, and gray mudstones occur.
Ages of the Llandovery epoch.
Rudanian. No. Rudanian stage. First of three stages of the Llandovery series, encompassing all rocks deposited during the Rhodanian age over 443.4 million to 440.8 million years ago of the Silurian period. It forms the base of the Silurian system. The name of the interval is derived from the Sefen Rudan farm near Llandovery, Powys, Wales.
Iranian stage second of three stages of the Llandovery series encompassing all rock deposited during the Iranian stage 440.8 million to 438.5 billion years ago of the Silurian period. The name of the interval is derived from the stem, stem code Iran farm near Latoferry.
Telekian stage, last of the three stages of the Llandovery series, encompassing all rocks deposited during the Telekian age 438.5 million to 433.4 million years ago of the Silurian period. The name of the interval is derived from the Panlantelic farm near Llandovery, Powys, Wales.
Devonian period. Devonian period, in geological time, an interval of the Paleozoic era that follows the Silurian period and precedes the Carboniferous period, spanning between about 419.2 million and 358.9 million years ago. The Devonian period is sometimes called the age of fishes because of the diverse, abundant, and in some cases, bizarre types of these creatures that swarm Devonian seas. Epochs of Devonian period. Early Devonian. During the early Devonian, the microcontinent of Avalonia collided with the northeastern part of Laurentia, by now part of Euramerican continent. Collision produced the Acadian Mountains, which rose in present-day New England and the Canadian Maritime provinces. This was a large mountain belt with topography perhaps like the present-day Rocky Mountains of western Canada. The rugged roots of the Appalachian Mountains still extend from the southeastern United States to Newfoundland and form the highland areas of Atlantic Canada on the opposite side of Euramerica.
collision tectonics took place at western margins of the Russian platform, and the orogeny took in the Urals and Scythian region. The East European platform suffered uplift and inversion tectonic transtensional basins originated inside the Pecora Basin.
Locovian stage. Lowermost of the three standard worldwide divisions of early Devonian rocks and time. It is the lowest division of the Devonian period and the lower Devonian series. The Locovian stage spans the interval between 419.2 million and 410.8 million years ago. The name is derived from the Lokov in the Czech Republic.
Pragian stage, second of the three standard worldwide division of early Devonian rock and time. Pragian time spans to the interval between 410.8 million and 407 and 0.6 million years ago. The name is derived from the Prague, the capital of Czech Republic.
Epsian stays uppermost of the three standard worldwide division of early Devonian rock and time. Ancient time spans the interval between 507.6 million and 393.3 million years ago. The, the ancient state was named for exposure studies in the region of the End River in western Germany, where it consists of what the sandstone noted for their rich fossil fauna. Limestone dominates the ancient in the Bohemian region of Central Europe and, and is the foothill of the Altai mountain of Russia, whereas limestone, chert, and stuff occur in the ancient of Australia. The ancient is well developed with the northeast, northeastern portion of the United States, where the Isopusian, Rohiri, Crete, and Onondaga limestone provide excellent exposure in the New York State, as formally ratified in 1995 after the authority of the International Commission on Stratigra- Stratigraphy, the global strato- stratotype section and point defining the lower boundary of this state is located in the Kinsale Band or 170 km, 105 miles south-southeast of Samarkand, Uzbekistan. The ancient state underlies the Italian state of the Middle Devonian series and overlies the Thracian state of the Lower Devonian series.
Middle Devonian. The Middle Devonian is a rather short epoch and has no really outstanding fossil sites. However, there are a large number of lesser-known sites, particularly in the traditional Old Red continent. This region is now scattered among a number of continental masses in the middle of Devonian. One could have included many of the more important northern hemisphere sites in a broad strip passing roughly southwest to northeast starting in the state of Ohio, USA, passing through Pennsylvania and New York, through South Scotland and along the coast of northern Europe to the Baltic. Another group of sites would lie in a shorter, almost parallel line to the northwest, from western Canada through the Canadian Arctic to Siberia. Chinese and Gondwanan Middle Devonian sites are quite rare. Some, like the Aztec siltstone in Victorialand, Antarctica may be quite rich but are poorly known.
Ages of the Middle Devonian.
Tibetan, Tibetans, the uppermost of the two standard worldwide division of Middle Devonian rock and time. Tibetan time spans the interval between 387.7 million and 382.7 million years ago. It was named for exposure studies near Tibet in the Ardennes region of northern France and is characterized by a zone, a smaller subdivision of geologic time, whose rock includes the ammonite genus Mediocera.
Hmm. Hyperion stage. Lowermost of the two standard worldwide divisions of Middle Devonian rocks and time. Hyperion time spans the interval between 393.3 million and 387.7 million years ago. The name of the Hyperion stage is derived from the Eifel Hills in western Germany near Luxembourg and Belgium.
Upper Devonian. Upper Devonian series, 382.7 million to 358.9 million years ago, comprising the Prussian and Pomanian stages.
Ages of the Upper Devonian.
Frasnian stage. Lowermost of the two standard worldwide divisions of Lake Devonian rocks and time. Frasnian time occurred between 382.7 million and 372.2 million years ago. The stage's name is derived from the town of Frasnes in the Ardennes region of southern Belgium. The lower boundary point of the Frasnian is defined on the basis of the first occurrence of the conodont Ancyrodella rotundiloba.
Paminian stage, uppermost of the two standard worldwide divisions of late Devonian rocks and time. Paminian time spans the interval between 372.2 million and 358.9 million years ago. The name of Paminian stage is derived from the region of Pamene in southern Belgium, which has served historically as the type of district.
Carboniferous period. Carboniferous period, fifth interval of the Paleozoic era, succeeding the Devonian period and preceding the Permian period. In terms of absolute time, the Carboniferous period began approximately 358 million point 9 million years ago and ended in 298.9 million years ago. Its duration of approximately 60 million years ago makes it the longest period of the Paleozoic era and the second largest period of the Phanerozoic Eon.
Subperiods of the Carboniferous period. Mississippian subperiod. Mississippian subperiod, first major of subdivision of the Carboniferous period, lasting from 358.9 to 323.2 million years ago. The Mississippian is characterized by shallow water limestone deposits occupying the interiors of continents, especially in the northern hemisphere. This period is sometimes called the age of crinoids because the fossil of these invertebrates are major components of much Mississippian age limestone. Also noteworthy in this period is the first appearance of amphibians. Epoch of the Mississippian subperiod. Upper Mississippian subperiod.
The ages of the Upper Mississippian subperiod have Serpukovian stage, third of three internationally defined stages of the Mississippian subsystem of the Carboniferous system, encompassing all rocks deposited during the Serpukovian age, 330.9 million to 323.2 million years ago. The Serpukovian is the shortest of the Carboniferous stage. The name is derived from the Russian city of Serpukhov, near Moscow in the Moscow Basin. Although the type section is not completely there, and the principal reference exposures are the Russian Ural Mountains.
Ages of the Middle Mississippian subperiod. Visayan stage. Visayan stage, second of three international defined stages of the Mississippian subsystem of the Carboniferous system, encompassing all rocks depositing during the Visayan age, 346.7 million to 330.9 million years ago. The name is derived from town of Bice in eastern Belgium on its border with the Netherlands. Although most of the understanding of the stage comes from exposure surrounding the town of the ninth time of Belgium.
Lower Mississippian subperiod.
Ages of the Lower Mississippian subperiod have
Turnesian stage. Turnesian stage, lowest and first of the three intercontinental stages of the Mississippian subsystem. Carboniferous system encompassing all rocks deposited during the Turnesian age, 358.9 million years to 346.7 million years ago. The name is derived from exposure of fine-grained limestone with shally intervals surrounding the town of Tournai in southwestern Belgium near the French border.
Pennsylvanian subperiod. Pennsylvanian subperiod, second major subdivision of the Carboniferous period, lasting from 323.2 million to 298.9 million years ago. The Pennsylvanian is recognized as a time of significant advance and retreat by shallow seas. Epoch of the Pennsylvanian subperiod. Upper Pennsylvanian subperiod.
ages of the Upper Pennsylvanian subperiod. The Gazillian stage. Gazillian, also called Gazillian, last of four internationally defined stage of the Pennsylvanian subsystem of the Carboniferous system, and composing all rocks deposited during the Gazillian age, 303.7 million to 298.9 million years ago. The name is taken from the Russian city of the Gizel, which lies just southeast of Moscow in the Moscow Basin. Gazelian strata are cyclic but consist mainly of dolomitic marls, and intercalated siltstone.
Casimovian stage. Third of four intercontinentally defined stages of the Pennsylvanian subsystem of the Carboniferous system, encompassing all rocks deposited during the Casimovian age 307 million to 303.7 million years ago. The name is taken from the Russian city of Kasimov, which lies east of Moscow in the Moscow Basin. The section is cyclic but consists mainly of limestone and dolomitic mudstones with intercalated siltstone.
Middle Pennsylvanian subperiod.
Ages of the Middle Pennsylvanian subperiod.
Moscovian stage, second of four internationally defined stage of the Pennsylvanian subsystem of the Carboniferous system, and composing all rocks deposited during the Moscovian age 315.2 million to 307 million years ago. The name is taken from exposures in the Moscow Basin, Russia. There, the section is dominated by fossiliferous limestone and dolomites, although thin intercalated shales and sandstones also occur.
Lower Pennsylvanian subperiod.
Ages of the Lower Pennsylvanian subperiod. Bashkiran stage. Bashkiran stage, first of four internationally defined stages of the Pennsylvanian subsystem of the Carboniferous system, encompassing all rocks depositing during the Bashkirian age 323.2 million to 315.2 million years ago. The name is derived from Gornaya Bashkiria in the southern Ural Mountains of Russia. Permian period. Permian period in geologic time, the last period of Paleozoic era. The Permian period began 298.9 million years ago and ended 252.2 million years ago, extending from the close of the Carboniferous period to the outset of the Triassic period. During the Permian period, Earth's crustal plates formed a single massive continent called Pangaea, the most devastating incidents of mass extinction in Earth's history marked the end of the Permian period. Epoch of the Permian period.
Caesarea epoch is the first of the three epochs of the Permian period. It is preceded by late Pennsylvania epoch, Carboniferous period, and succeeded by Guadalupe epoch. Assyrian stage, first of the fourth stage of Lower Permian Caesareal series, encompassing all rocks deposited during the Assyrian age. 298.9 million to 295.5 million years ago of the Permian period. The Assyrian stage is especially well developed in the Perm region of Russia. Assyrian deposit a shale and limestone interbed with thin layer of sandstone and colmerians.
Sakmarian. Sakmarian stage, second of the four stages of the early Permian Caesarean epoch, encompassing all rocks deposited during the Sakmarian age, 295.5 million years ago to 290.1 million years ago of the Permian period. Rocks deposited the Sakmarian were marine sandstone, sandstone, shales, and limestone, interbreeded with minor tin conglomerates. Artesian epoch. Artesian stage, third of the four stages of the Lower Permian Caesarean series, representing those rocks deposited during the Artesian time, 290.1 million to 279.3 million years ago. In the Permian periods, rocks of Artesian time were deposited in marine environments in its type area in the Ural region of Russia. These strata were mainly sandstone, siltstone, shales, and limestone, and conglomerates, deposited on a steep incline seam near edge of the Russian platform. During the Artesian, this ramp became a marine tectonic foredip, a narrow through filled with sediment. In western part of Ural, base of the Artesian is marked by the first appearance of the conodonts, Schwytzenegus, Whitesea, and Mesagondolelia basili.
Congruent stage, last of the fourth stage of the Lower Permian series, encompassing all rocks deposited during Congruent age, 279.3 million to 272.3 million years ago. Of the Permian period, rocks exposure from this stage are well developed in the Ural region in both Kazakhstan and Russia. Guadalupian epoch is the second of the three epochs of the Permian period. It precedes by Caesurean epochs and succeeded by Lupinian epoch.
Stages of the Guadalupian epoch. Trojan stage, first of the three stages of the Middle Permian Guadalupian series, made up of all rocks deposited during the Trojan age, 272.3 million to 268.8 million years ago of the Permian period.
Virgin stage, second of the stage of the Middle Permian Guadalupia series, made of all rocks deposited during Virgin age, 268.8 million to 265.1 million years ago of the Permian period. The name of this interval is derived from Virgin Formation located in Glass Mountain of western Texas in North America. Capitanian stage, last of the three stages of the Middle Permian Guadalupian series, encompassing all rocks deposited during the Capitanian age, 265.1 million to 259.9 million years ago, the Permian period. This interval of geologic time is named from the Captain Formation, which is located on Capitol Peak, New Mexico, US.
Lupinian epoch. Lupinian epoch is the last of the three epochs of the Permian period. It is preceded by the Guadalupian epoch and succeeded by the early Triassic period. Epoch.
Age of the Lupinian epoch.
Lupinian epoch. Wuxianyan. Wuxianyan. Wuxianyan stage, first of the two stages of the Upper Permian Lupinian series encompassing all rocks deposited during the Wuxianyan age, 259.9 million to 254.2 million years ago of the Permian period.
Changxinyan stage, last of the two international defined stage of the Upper Permian Lopinian series, encompassing all rocks deposited during the Qingxiangyan age, 254.2 million to 252.2 million years ago of the Permian period. The name of the interval is derived from the Chinese country of Changxing.
Well, this is the end of our presentation. Well, congratulations to everyone who made it to the end. So this is our contributors. These are group three contributors: Florido, Odivilas, Montiliano, Lozano, Robles, Solajes, Alonso, Diegas, and Puentes.
So, good work, guys. You made it, and that's a wonderful presentation. So you may leave now the Zoom meeting and have a good lunch. Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye, sir.